Why did Jungkook suddenly fall silent? Emotional live reaction as Jin plays DSYLM and I Will Come to You sends fans into tears. What truly happened in that quiet moment between Jungkook and Jimin, right after Jin's fingers began to glide across the piano? Why did both of them appear frozen, almost shaken, as the familiar notes of Don't Say You Love Me, DSYLM, and I Will Come to You echoed during the live performance? Was it just nostalgia, or something deeper they couldn't hide anymore? This is not just another live reaction video. It's a moment that tore straight through the emotional core of BTS fans worldwide. AS Seokjin, better known as Jin, returned to the stage with a live piano rendition that combined his solo track DSYLM and the timeless ballad, I Will Come to You. Emotions surged not just through the audience, but through the very hearts of those closest to him. Jimin and Jungkook were seen watching, not with fan-like admiration, but with an intense emotional gravity that left viewers on edge. Their silence wasn't just polite, it was heavy, loaded, and telling. Throughout BTS's journey, we've seen tears, reunions, long-distance messages from military service, and heartfelt letters between the members. But never before has a single piano performance felt like such a confession, like Jin was telling a story only those who have lived it could fully understand. As Jin sat in front of the piano, the stage dimmed to a single spotlight. He didn't say anything. He just began. First came DSYLM, a track already soaked in layered meaning, one that has become a whisper of longing, apology, and unsaid truths. It was as if each note he played wasn't just music, but memory. And then, without pause, he transitioned into I Will Come to You, a song that traditionally speaks of comfort, promise, and presence. A promise to return. A vow not to let go. That's when the camera panned to Jimin and Jungkook. The two youngest BTS members were seated in a quiet room, watching live. At first, Jimin leaned forward slightly, lips pursed, jaw clenched. Jungkook, typically open and expressive, looked distant. As Jin hit the bridge of I Will Come to You, Jimin lowered his head. Jungkook blinked hard and for a brief moment, tightened his fists in his lap. No tears, but everything else was written clearly. What were they thinking? Was it the weight of Jin's absence during military service? Was it a reminder of the uncertainty they now face as a group, as individuals, as brothers? What made this live performance truly unforgettable wasn't just Jin's hauntingly beautiful playing or his fragile, raw vocal tone. It was how every movement, every glance, every pause seemed orchestrated by memory itself. It felt like a letter sent without words, a message only certain people were meant to understand. And Jimin and Jungkook understood. After the performance ended, a deep silence followed. Then, finally, Jimin looked up and whispered something to Jungkook, who only nodded, eyes still locked on the screen. The moment didn't need subtitles. Fans watching the reaction were quick to comment. It's like they heard more than music. They heard what he couldn't say. Jungkook's expression said everything. That performance wasn't for us. It was for them. I think this was Jin's way of reaching out while still serving. A reminder, a promise, a cry. Even more intriguing, some armies speculated that the choice of I Will Come to You was no coincidence. Given the band's current hiatus due to military service and personal exploration, Jin's message seemed to echo the question on every fan's mind. Will BTS come back whole again? Jin, ever composed, didn't follow up with a comment or explanation. There was no V-Live afterward, no fan message. Just the lingering sound of his voice and piano, now immortalized across millions of screens. What about the title, Don't Say You Love Me? Was it a warning? A fear? Was Jin trying to say that words aren't enough anymore? That love, even between members, has to be shown through actions, through loyalty, through music, and then the next mystery. Why was this performance done now? Why during a quiet moment with no tour, no major announcement, and no formal comeback? Some believe Jin chose this timing carefully as a soft but powerful reminder that his connection with BTS and the fans hasn't faded, even if his presence is momentarily paused. Others wonder if this performance was triggered by something internal, Perhaps a recent conversation, a message from Jimin or Jungkook, or even a difficult realization. Regardless of the reasons, one thing is clear. The raw emotional response from Jungkook and Jimin made this performance unforgettable. This wasn't a fan service moment. This wasn't just a live stream or a music segment. It was a quiet explosion, a personal letter disguised as a piano medley, a reunion of feelings, without words, without stage lights, without screaming fans, just three brothers, connected across time and distance, speaking to each other through music. And as the world continues to wait for BTS's full return, one question continues to echo in the minds of fans everywhere. What did Jin want them, and us, to feel with that performance? Was it closure, or a new beginning? Was it a farewell, or a quiet promise whispered through melody? Whatever the answer may be, one thing is certain. That performance, and the reaction it sparked, will be remembered for years to come. The lingering silence after Jin's heartfelt piano performance has left BTS fans and the broader music community grappling with a complex mix of emotions: hope, sorrow, anticipation, and a profound sense of connection that transcends words. What seemed like a simple live stream became a moment of collective vulnerability, a shared experience where music carried the weight of stories untold and emotions deeply felt. Jin's choice to perform "Don't Say You Love Me" followed by "I Will Come to You" at such a seemingly quiet juncture in BTS's ongoing narrative was no accident. These songs, layered with meanings of longing, regret, and unwavering commitment, were more than melodies. They were messages. Messages that transcended the barrier of distance created by military service, busy schedules, and individual growth. They were a reminder that even when physically apart, the bond between these members remains unbreakable. The subtle, yet unmistakable, reactions from Jungkook and Jimin are proof of that unspoken bond. Their silence spoke volumes, emotions too complex for words, feelings too raw to mask. Jungkook's restrained anguish and Jimin's quiet solemnity revealed a vulnerability seldom seen in public. It was a glimpse behind the curtain of the global phenomenon, showing the human essence beneath the stardom. This performance, shared with millions around the world, quietly shattered the illusion that idols are always invincible. It brought forth the reality that they, too, wrestle with separation, uncertainty, and the pain of being apart from those they hold dear. Yet, in that fragility, there was strength. Jin's piano was not just an instrument. It was a lifeline, a conduit of hope that through the storms of change, the core of BTS will endure. But what does this mean for the future of BTS? ARMY worldwide is left to wonder if Jin's musical letter was a subtle assurance that BTS will reunite as a whole, stronger than ever. Or was it a poignant farewell, an emotional punctuation mark in a chapter filled with transition? The silence from HYB and the members themselves only fuels speculation. There have been no official announcements, no confirming words, only this quiet, intimate moment shared between the members and captured forever in pixels and hearts. Yet, maybe that is exactly what Jin intended. In a world often dominated by noise and grand gestures, sometimes the most powerful messages are those whispered softly through music. The kind that invite reflection rather than reaction, that open doors to hope rather than close them with certainty. AS fans dissect every chord, every glance, every breath captured during that performance. One undeniable truth remains clear: BTS is more than a band. They are a family bound not just by fame, but by shared trials, triumphs, and an unyielding loyalty that defies distance and time. Jin's performance wasn't simply a song. It was a bridge between the past and the future, between absence and presence, between silence and understanding. For Jungkook, for Jimin, for all of BTS, and for the millions of hearts beating alongside them, that bridge offers a promise that no matter where life takes them, no matter how long the separation, their music and their love for each other will always find a way to bring them home. So, as we wait and watch, let us remember that sometimes silence speaks louder than words, and A single song can carry the weight of 1,000 feelings. Jin's piano has spoken. Will BTS answer the call? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. This moment, this performance, this raw display of brotherhood and emotion will remain etched in the hearts of ARMY and music lovers everywhere for years to come. Until then, we hold on to that lingering melody and the hope that BTS's next chapter will be as honest, heartfelt, and powerful as the music they share.